hope you're having, well, listen, as you probably heard, I was in front of the House this morning for the second reading of C-27. And in a nutshell, what C-27 is doing is giving more power to people and more control over their data online. Secondly, it's about protecting our children and making sure that parents would have more control to make sure that we, in this new digital world, we better protect our children. And thirdly, I would say it's with respect to the responsible use of AI. Artificial intelligence is prevalent in our lives, and we need to make sure that companies would be using AI responsibly. And lastly, I would say in a nutshell, it's really about bringing our privacy laws, which are 20 years old, into the 21st century. And for me, I said to the member in this House, it's really incumbent on the 338 people who sit in this House to give the best gift I would think that we could do to our children as we approach Christmas is to better protect them from online harm. This bill is complementary with what Minister Rodriguez is doing, and I think it is time that we update our privacy laws. So en français, écoutez, vous m'avez vu, je présentais ce matin la deuxième lecture du projet de loi C-27. Le projet de loi C-27, ça fait trois choses importantes. D'abord, ça donne plus de pouvoir et plus de contrôle aux gens sur leurs informations en ligne. Ça permet de mieux protéger nos jeunes aussi et leurs informations dans l'ère digitale. Et troisièmement, ça encadre l'utilisation de l'intelligence artificielle alors qu'on sait que c'est prévalent dans nos vies aujourd'hui. Finalement, ce que ça fait, c'est ça amène nos lois sur la protection de la vie privée qui datent déjà de 20 ans dans le 21e siècle. Alors moi, j'ai demandé à mes collègues, je pense que le plus beau cadeau qu'on peut faire à nos jeunes à l'approche de Noël cette année, c'est de s'assurer qu'on adopte rapidement ce projet de loi-là pour permettre de mieux encadrer l'utilisation de leurs informations dans le monde digital. Je pense que protéger nos enfants, c'est la chose à faire et j'ai demandé à tous mes collègues de s'assurer qu'on le fasse le plus rapidement possible. Merci.
Minister, I want to ask about the AI portion of the bill.
Yes.
Experts and stakeholders have a lot of concerns about it. They say it wasn't consulted on, that it leaves too much to regulations, that it's too narrowly focused. Teresa Scaza was on your AI Advisory Council, called it, quote, statutory mad libs. Are you open to withdrawing or amending the ADA portion of the bill?
Well, I would say we listen widely. You know, this is the second shot at making sure we have the best privacy laws and fit for purpose of the 21st century. I will say simply, making sure that we have responsible use of AI is the right thing to do, full stop. And I won't be deterred from that. I will pursue that because today, many Canadians that are watching would be concerned that decisions about their insurance policy, decisions that would affect their life, whether they would qualify for some loans, would be done through an algorithm using artificial intelligence. And I think it's about time that we regulate that. And I will stand on that because I think it's really the right thing to do, because what we want to avoid is that there are biases in these algorithms. And I think the best way is to shed light on that and have transparency. And I can tell you, I appreciate the comments of everyone, but we consulted widely. I consulted with colleagues around the world, and I can tell you it's the right thing to do. And when people in the world watch us, they say, you know what? You're doing exactly what we should be doing. And for me, my job, why I'm elected, why I sit here, my job is to protect Canadians, to protect our children, to protect our people. And I think it's about time we do that in the online world. Madam?
Would the OPC, under the new legislation, be able to compel companies headquartered outside of Canada to comply with Canadian regulations? What level of enforcement is...
Can you start? The beginning I missed. I apologize. It's the beginning that...
OPC,
yeah.
Under the new legislation, be able to compel companies headquartered outside of Canada to comply with Canadian regulations? What level of enforcement?
Well, we'll have to define that. That's why my objective today, when I was talking to my colleagues in the House, was really to send that bill to committee as quickly as possible. Those are the type of things that we'll have to hear expert on. And certainly the goal today was really, it's kind of a call to action for members of this House to realize that our privacy laws are 20 years old. This was at the time, let's be honest, I'm 52, but this was before TikTok, this was before Facebook, this was before Twitter. I don't think there's many folks watching at home tonight that would disagree that we should update our privacy laws. For example, this is about giving more power and control to the people over their data. Do you know that today you can force a company to delete your data online? I think if more Canadians were aware of that, they'd say, wow, that's about time that we do something. Do you know that today, for example, parents don't have any rights with respect to the information that is collected about their children online? I don't think you would find any parents in Canada would think that's right. So that's why we're acting today, and that's why I've asked my colleagues, the best gift you can give to kids in this country for Christmas, make sure that we protect them online. We've come from COVID. We have seen the harm that this could be done, and having a framework to protect our children, giving rights to parents, to ask a company to delete information collected about their children, you know what? I think that if we go out, you and I, and talk to parents, they'd say, yes, that's the right thing to do. This is what C27 is all about. Merci tout le monde. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir.
I wanted to ask, you're heading to Japan for GPAI.
Yes.
And in May, the U.S. hosted a quantum roundtable with other OECD countries. We sent a representative that was focused on sort of building an alliance counter to the Chinese quantum development. Are you participating in efforts to do something like GPAI for quantum?
You read my mind. It seems that you've been with me around the world, because the first time I raised this idea was actually when I was in Paris, and when we had a session with President Macron, which I said, you know what, GPA has been leading the world when it comes to responsible use of artificial intelligence. And at that time, I was saying, the next step should really be to look at quantum. So definitely Canada will be present in any international efforts, because when you look at quantum, if you look at AI, quantum, and cybersecurity, it's kind of things that go together in a way, and how we can work together as the international community, because a lot of these things don't know national borders. So we do need cooperation. I think GPA is an amazing model. That's why I'll be in Japan, as you mentioned. And I'm quite happy to look at things with respect to quantum as well.
And just specifically, are you conscious of or worried about the Chinese development of quantum, given everything you just said?
Well, what I'm concerned about is that we lead as Canada. When it comes to AI and quantum, I think in cyber, when you go around the world, people look up at Canada. How do we maintain that leadership position is what I'm concerned about, and that's what I'm working on. Merci tout le monde. Bon week-end. Merci, à bientôt.